Female characters are a really contentious subject. Some people will praise these people because they slay and they're women or whatever, right? But other people will look at it critically and say, what makes a good character? You can have bad examples like Shuri from Wakanda Forever or Yelena from Black Widow. Or you can have good examples like Katara, Korra, Toph. Like, there's so many ways to make a good female character, and if you criticize a female character because they're a girl boss or whatever, you'll have like 100 feminists on you calling you annoying and evil. But I want to say one of the worst examples of a female character is Captain Marvel. You know what I'm talking about. That one scene where her blasting her mentor, her getting her powers and not having to learn. She inhabits all the worst traits of any female character out there. She's good at everything immediately. She's automatically the smartest person in the room. She makes a joke of all the other male characters because women are better than men, right, guys? And overall, she's just a really annoying character. She was okay in Endgame, and I didn't mind her in any of the projects she was in. But the worst project she has been in so far has been Captain Marvel. This is her origin movie, right? So you think that she'd be good at it, but really no. This movie exaggerates her worst traits, and honestly, I hate this movie just because of how it treats the character. Because I don't hate Brie Larson as an actor. I think she's she's average, she's not a bad actor in the slightest. But it's her character she's given that really screws everything up, and it sucks because Captain Marvel to me has potential. But yeah, I'm just from my studios. Let's talk about how Captain Marvel has a lot of problems. The story of Captain Marvel is really, really formulaic, really, really boring, and tries to push some really dumb points on the people, like woman power. And the whole movie is basically, what do you call it? The whole story is basically just one big synopsis for the patriarchy or whatever. I don't want to get political, but I don't think you should make a movie political. Don't like make this symbolize the patriarchy. There are very few movies I don't mind getting political. Captain America Civil War was great political, but it was a fake political scenario that really made the audiences think. It wasn't some woman power. But yeah, that leads into the story of Captain Marvel. The story of Captain Marvel is pretty formulaic. But in 1995, on the Kree Empire's capital of Hala, Star Force member Verse suffers from amnesia and recurring nightmares of an older woman. Her mentor and commander trains her to control this ability, while Supreme Intelligence, it's an artificial intelligence that controls the whole Kree Empire, keeps her emotions in check. But during a mission to rescue an undercover operative who is trying to infiltrate a Skrull Empire, who Skrulls are basically alien shapeshifters, versus captured by the Skull Commander Talos. She is then probed and escaped, and realizes she's missing some memories, and she escapes to Earth, where she's found by Nick Fury, not director, but basically an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Phil Coulson, who's still alive, because this is about 15 years before the events of Avengers. She then recovers a crystal that was extracted memories, and Fury cures the skull that was impersonating Coulson. Talos then goes to find Fury, and Fury works with Captain Marvel to keep tabs on her. Using her extracted memories, she and Fury go to Project Pegasus, which is an Air Force base, and they discover that she was a pilot who presumed died in 1989. She was testing an experimental light engine designed by Dr. Wendy Lawson, who she recognizes. Fury informs S.H.I.E.L.D. at the location the team arrives. Fury realizes that Keller is Talos and helps Veers escape in a jet that lost on stowaway cat Goose, basically the girl's goose, cat. They then fly to Louisiana to meet a former pilot, Maria Rambeau, who's the last person to see Verse, which is Captain Marvel, and the other girl alive. Rambeau's daughter named Monica reveals that Verse is Carol Danvers, and she had a family, which basically they were best friends and stuff. The Skrulls then come unarmed and explain the situation, how they were actually the ones being hunted, and they're trying to search for a new home. Then they also find out Captain Marvel's backstory, which is that the girl who created the engine was flying, got attacked by the Empire, and Captain Marvel absorbed all the energy from that in order to become Captain Marvel. Danvers, Talos, and Fury, and Rambeau locate the cloaked laboratory orbiting Earth, and the Skrulls are hiding there, so they use the Tesseract. A bunch of junk happens, they're on the ship, and they find out Goose is just an alien with a bunch of tongues, which is a pretty funny joke. Although what I didn't like about this moment is how they kind of made Fury's eye funny. I don't mind jokes in movies, but I feel like you can't turn a joke of what Fury lost his eye. Like I thought he would lose his eye in battle. That would have been cool. Him saving the Earth, he lost his eye, but no, it just had to be some dumb joke Marvel made. But yeah, Captain Marvel then she unlocked her true power because of woman power, and she needed no development, right, guys? Basically, what happened is Captain Marvel didn't need any development to unlock her powers. She just decided one day, oh, I'm as powerful as I want to be. She breaks out, saves the Skrulls, and kills her master, her old mentor, in one hit. And then she vouches to help the Skrulls find a new planet, which leads into Secret Invasion, WandaVision, and the Marvels. But what I really want to say about the story is it's trash. I don't like how they made a joke of Fury. I did not like the whole Fury losing his eye thing, like I just said. I thought it was kind of stupid for Fury to lose his eye in a funny way like that. I thought they would make that more serious. But what I really didn't like, I liked Rambeau. I thought she was an interesting enough character. I really wish the characters had depth in this movie. You don't really root for any of the characters. I actually really liked Talos. Talos was cool to me. He was the only character with a little bit of depth here. Like if you I just don't think this movie has depth. And that's what it's missing. It doesn't have like Spider-Man No Way Home with levels of depth and a message. It's not like Thor Ragnarok that has levels of depth of family. Not like the Batman that has levels of depth of corruption. This is a boring movie with absolutely no depth. And what I really didn't like was how Captain Marvel had no development throughout the movie. This is an issue with a lot of female characters. A good example, I'll read a few examples. She-Hulk has no development. She just realizes that it's her fault. And she becomes this most powerful person and is able to beat all the men because women are just as strong as men. Which is true. But like, you don't think she needed to train first or something? A good example is actually Kate Bishop, someone who, although is really, really good at acrobatics and martial arts and bowmanship, is straight up incompetent for most of the show. She needs Hawkeye to guide her to become that hero. She's not arrogant, and this is actually interesting because there's a really good point. This video made basically about earned arrogance.
The other thing that she has not working for her is she's arrogant, but she hasn't earned her arrogance. I know.
I think characters need to earn their arrogance. Captain Marvel is a little too arrogant. And yeah, so I don't like Captain Marvel, the main character. We'll talk about that later. She's earned arrogance is important because someone like She-Hulk and Carol Danvers, they didn't earn their arrogance. Not like someone like Tony Stark who earned his arrogance from being that guy. Tony Stark is like the main character, literally the main character. So he earned that guy status. But yeah, one thing I just talk about how I don't like Captain Marvel, but what I really don't like about Captain Marvel the most is I think her journey. So Captain Marvel had a lot of symbolism, I'm going to admit real quick, and if you don't like to get political, I do want you to skip to the next part. I perfectly understand it, but I'm not trying to get political here. Basically, Captain Marvel tries to symbolize the patriarchy, which I think has always been a dumb idea. The idea that men are automatically at the top, even though women have been at the top for decades. This is not true because women get all the benefits of the doubt, while guys don't get the benefit of the doubt. I do agree that women are hindered in certain aspects, but I don't think that they're hindered as much as they believe. I think you have to get out of the victim mentality. But this movie was written around that victim mentality that a lot of people have nowadays. It's like Captain Marvel, she doesn't need to train for her abilities. She doesn't need to. The patriarchy, right? The men are holding her down, and it's just that she just gotta unlock that ability and get away from the patriarchy in order to find her true ability. And I don't like that because I don't like politics in movies, man. I talked about this in my Black Widow video. And my Eternals video is a big one. I don't like politics in movies. I want a movie to be politic free. Mind you, I'm not one of those weird people who like Marvel is failing. Like this guy right here who's constantly talking about how Marvel is failing and how wokeness. And I'm not one of those crazy. I don't have the mob mentality. On the right and the left, there is mob mentality. You can't have that mob mentality. But like, can we not put politics in movies? Can we please not try to divide the audience? Can we please create a meaningful message? Like Spider-Man No Way Home created a meaningful message. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra created a meaningful message. The Batman created a meaningful message of hope. It's just like, I don't like the idea of movies being shoved with politics because movies are my escape to life. I don't want to be pulled back into a movie's politics when I just want to enjoy it. This movie pulled off politics terribly, right? The patriarchy, all this and that. She didn't get to an epic fight where I would have been happy with the symbolism if she maybe had to train for her abilities. There was maybe like a 20-30 minute section where she had her powers, but she had to like train with them and not just be good immediately. But no, as soon as she gets her powers, she's knocking the mob with all of them. And I understand that. Captain Marvel is an extremely powerful character. but she didn't earn that arrogance, which I said earlier. I really want to make a video on earned arrogance because I feel like earned arrogance is important for movies, and I kind of realized it. Like I never thought I thought about earned arrogance, but I realized when I was writing this video that it's really important to have earned arrogance in a character like Iron Man or another character with earned arrogance. Or Korra, she starts the series off really arrogant, but then over time she becomes less arrogant. She begins arrogant, but she gets rid of that. And I just don't Captain Marvel just because of the whole symbolism. She's not a likable character. But yeah, like I said, there's so many better ways to do a female character than Captain Marvel. It just sucks how they pulled her off. But yeah, beyond the politics, yeah, Captain Marvel is just a boring movie. This movie is so boring, man. I cannot take it. I watched it. Marvel's is out. I'm filming this video Saturday, so it's probably out. It's out next Friday, right? But this movie is just so incredibly boring. I actually had to watch it again because I almost fell asleep, and I skipped like half the movie when I fell asleep, so I had to rewatch it. Man, it sucks. I really liked the whole building up of the Kree Empire. I thought it was really, really cool. But that's my interest kind of went away after we met Fury. It feels to me like a boring buddy cop movie. There's some twists that everyone expected. There's nothing special going on. Boom, boom, bang. The Skrulls are actually on the run. Who would have realized, even though the Skrulls were acting like jerks the entire movie? Who would have known they were the bad guys? Oh yeah, everyone. And then you throw on top of that, like the politics at the end. This movie was so boring, and it didn't keep me captivated. I think a big part of that was the action scenes. I really liked the space action scene. Say what you want about it, but it's well choreographed. But then there's no ground fight scenes between Captain Marvel and her mentor. I would have liked if how they had changed this movie is maybe she got her powers while she was on the Kree Empire. She realized the Kree Empire was wrong and escaped. And then she would have been on Earth, same time she would have been in the normal movie, but then she would have gotten her powers and she could have spent half the movie actually developing her powers. Maybe her mentor comes up with like something to get rid of her powers and they have to actually fight and she has to prove that she's actually better at fighting than the guy. But no. Let's just make it so that the woman is stronger because woman power. It's just like there are so many good examples of female characters. I don't want to come off like I hate all women, man. That's a big argument people will use when talking about women characters, but I don't care, man. Kate Bishop is a great example. Avatar: The Last Airbender has the best female characters in the market. Katara, Azula, Toph. Katara or Korra is one of my favorite main characters ever. I think I might actually like her more than I like Aang. She's so much more diverse than Aang is. And I love her main character. She's great. Kurvana was a great villain. But then you have examples like She-Hulk. Mulan is a really good example of a horrible female character who just is good at everything automatically and only has to find that power inside of her, which I think is really cringy. And I'm shocked this movie didn't have a woman power scene like Avengers Endgame. We all know that one terrible scene. But like, I'm shocked this movie didn't have one of those scenes. But yeah, I'm just from the Studios. This may be the last video you guys are actually hearing from the Studios. I'm debating changing the name to Thundermite Reviews. If you guys like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out my Black Widow and my Eternals video if you like this video. They're basically the exact same thing. Yeah, those videos are really good. Thank you to the YouTuber that I used their video with in this video. They pretty good content. Check it out. I'm definitely gonna be linking that video and their channel in the description. If you liked it, if you like me as a person, make sure to check out my streams. I'm currently streaming Horizon Zero Dawn, and we'll probably be streaming that game for the next 2 to 3 weeks, as it's the hardest game I've ever had to play. And yeah, I'm Justin from my studios. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll check you guys in my next video with Batman Arkham City. Stay electric.